when you look at the phases and the research and the things that you've done, obviously each one of the phases somebody can get tripped up in and not pay attention to it. But is there another one where you're like over and over, it's like, oh, I see this, like everybody seems to like have a hard time with this, or many people do. What would you point to?
Yeah, I would say, Michael, the two phases that seem to cause the biggest problems are that affirm phase we talked about earlier, that new hires remorse. And mainly the problem is we're just not even acknowledging the phase. We're just moving from, hey, you got the offer, you accepted the offer, great, see you on your start date. Yeah. And it's just this quiet period, dead zone. If you do nothing but send a thank you note, thanking them for accepting the job, or send a little video saying you're excited to see them on the first day, a little tiny, minuscule touch is going to be better than nothing. The other phase where people often just fall off the rails is that acclimate phase. We expect our employees to be up and running instantly. We expect them to understand our cadence, who's who, our org chart, how we're supposed to do emails, how we're supposed to prepare agendas and meetings. Folks, you didn't know how to do all of that stuff on your first day on the job. And most listening, I say this respectfully, you made that up as you went along. And you made it up as you went along, probably because you made mistakes with ways you tried it, and then you refined it into better ways. One of my favorite examples of a company that does this is Ritz-Carlton. And there's some bonus case studies. This one isn't actually in the book. So Ritz-Carlton didn't make the book, folks. Ritz-Carlton's amazing. Don't get me wrong. But Ritz-Carlton does something really interesting on day 21. So you've been on the job for 3 weeks. On day 21, they bring you into a meeting with your manager and the head manager for the entire property where you're working at. And you come into the meeting and they say, great, thanks so much. We love that you've been here for 3 weeks. You're doing a great job. Question, what are we doing that you think we're doing wrong? Where are we making mistakes? What are we doing that you think, gosh, why do they do it that way? What are we doing that you think, oh, there's a better way to do that? What are we doing that you're like, gosh, I still don't understand that, even though I've been here 3 weeks? New employees are a gold mine of perspective. They're not jaded. They haven't been bought into your cadence. They haven't adopted the, well, we've always done it that way philosophy. I love new employees because new employees, in the same way that children in a new environment can do it, can see the secrets. They can see the things that aren't working. They can see the things that are ripe for improvement or opportunity. Anybody listening who has children, who has been around children, you think you've baby-proofed your house. You think you're good until a baby comes over. And then you're like, oh my gosh, no, wait a second. No, I can't believe we left that out. And then it changes when a toddler comes over. You're like, oh, this is a whole separate set of problems. And then an elementary level student, and then a middle schooler, and then a teenager. You're learning at each step along the way based on the perspective of the human that's coming in, that the things you thought you would set up pretty clearly and efficiently aren't as set up and as efficient as you thought. New employees are a gold mine of perspective. Make sure you're spending the time to talk to them early on to dissect what you're doing and why you're doing it from their point of view.